Perfect day. Thank you to everybody here at the zoo who arranged for this prime weather today. It's awesome. This is a project long in coming, and like many others, it's worth the wait. This is our attempt to do something a little bit different. You guys hear me okay? I don't know if you hear me all right. Okay. As will be explained in a moment by our zoo director, Shara Raposa, this is the Animal Ambassador Center is our effort, the zoo's effort, the Zoological Society's effort to offer children in particular a learning experience that cannot be readily had in the classroom, much less on the internet. This is where zoos really, and their evolving mission over time, can really add value in a children's life. So what's behind us, and we'll go ahead and take the tour in a second, is a lot of cute animals, of course, right? But it's not just a place to store animals to be viewed by people passing through. Rather, there's an opportunity for a level of interaction that is curated in a way that is entirely transparent. So you have in there, and again, the pictures will do more justice to it than my description will, but you have in there an opportunity to go in and learn about animals, see them in habitats that have been recreated, but also interact with the zookeepers in a way that allows for essentially a tutorial of sorts. What we're trying to achieve ultimately is to spark curiosity among children as well as adults to learn more, to explore more here at the zoo and on their own. We are emphatic about encouraging and exciting lifelong learning among children. I think that is something that will make their lives more fulfilling and probably their economic prospects brighter. But this is the kind of thing that we can do that's a little bit different. Not too many cities have zoos like ours, and fewer still have exhibits like this one that can really be an enriching experience. The other thing I would just offer, and is just as an observation, and I'll call Shara up to offer more detail, she's a far greater authority than I, is that it offers a whole lot of transparency about what our very talented zoo staff does. You ever go into, there's maybe those of you below a certain age might not remember this transition, but a lot of us can remember when all of a sudden we'd go to restaurants and there were many where you could see into the kitchen. That didn't used to be the case. Why would you be, if you're sitting at a table, why would you want to see back in the kitchen? And there was a trend there. There's a trend, lots of similar trends to promote transparency of the work, right? So if you can actually, the idea is that if you can see the work, you'll appreciate it more. And so when you see a chef cooking, going at it, preparing some fine meal in a nice restaurant, that makes you think even more highly of the work. Might actually, from their own self-interest and standpoint, increase tips and such. But really, what it's meant to do is to let people a peek behind the curtain to see just how skillful and hardworking people are. The same concept is at work here. What you have here is our very talented, very knowledgeable zoo staff who get to show just how talented and knowledgeable they really are, and just how friendly they are, and how much they care about their craft, and how much they care about the learning opportunities. And so you will see that as well in the level of interaction that's offered here with zoo staff. So I think that's a really important piece. This isn't a static exhibit. This is a dynamic, interactive exhibit, and thereby it's something that we think will facilitate learning. So we're really proud of that. So I want to thank, before I call Shara up to talk a little bit more about the project, I just want to say a couple things. So first off, I do want to thank Shara and her leadership here at the zoo, which has been stellar. The zoo was recently reaccredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, which is the main accrediting body, as the name implies, for zoos and aquariums across America, which is really important. This an exceptional place and continues to have that national good seal of approval. And Shara's been deeply involved in every one of these projects, including this one. Again, I want to thank all the zoo staff, especially the ones who work here, for their dedication as well along the way. I want to thank also our partners at the Buttonwood Park Zoological Society, chaired up until recently by Marion Weiner, and continue to thrive under Bill Cocolette's leadership as well, along with Sarah Henry, the executive director. We want to thank you guys for all the support along the way. This is a $2.7 million project that is in many ways represents the best of public-private partnerships. The zoo is a municipally owned zoo and operated. The Zoological Society has a complementary role, providing marketing support as well as educational support for educational programs. So money from both private sources as well as public sources went into this. About $2.1 million of that 2.7, so about 3/4 roughly, came from the city's capital improvement plan. So that's something that we pass every year. We issue bonds to borrow for capital projects like this and many others, roads and everything else that you see built in the city. So I want to thank the City Council for supporting this bond request that I put before them some 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember exactly when it was. I want to thank Jen Vieira and the team at DFFM for shepherding this project from the city's end, which is they build stuff and they oversee the construction of stuff, of public buildings, and they do such a great job with it. Our architects, George Figueredo at RTA and his talented team as well. I want to thank the private funders here. So there are a number of them, the folks at Bay Coast Bank, which have been such huge supporters of the zoo and a number of other initiatives. Nick Christ and the team over there who are represented today. I want to thank you guys for your enduring support. A number of private donors, some additional, so $250,000 from Bay Coast, an additional $400,000 from the Zoological Society. So that includes most prominently Mrs. Jerry Pelzar, who's right here, New Bedford native. So you can take the girl out of New Bedford, but you can't take the New Bedford out of the girl, as they say, right? Yes, or the zoo. So I want to just thank you for your very generous support of this project. It was instrumental in getting it done, and so we really appreciate that. And it's great to see you. You and I have some very fond memories of the zoo as we were kids, and so I know exactly the sentiments you feel in supporting the zoo, but I thank you for that. Others, Triska Holan, who's here, who's been on the board of the society for a long time. Of course, good friend who's been steadfast in her support and enthusiasm. Really appreciate it, Trish, for this and so many other projects along the way. And then the rest of the board. I just want to say, and then SMI Engineering, as well as LLB Architects. Thank you guys for your great work here as well. So that gives the rundown. I just want to, it's a list of folks, a long list, and thank you for bearing with me on that, but it underscores a really important point, that these kinds of things just don't happen automatically. It takes time, and in the case of this one, a fair amount of time to get done. It requires a lot of people working hard in the same direction, people coming up with funds, people making choices about whether to fund this or fund that, both from the private sector as well as the public sector. But this happened, and it happened because of that teamwork, that commitment to a common goal, and the result will be, frankly, a whole lot of kids in our city and people who are kids visiting the city who are able to have a unique experience here and keep that memory and build on it, and hopefully in some small way contribute to a better life for them in the long run. That's what we're trying to do. So with all that, I'm going to call up Shara Raposa, our zoo director, to tell you the stuff that's even more interesting about this project. Shara.
right behind him.
All right.
I think you covered a lot of it, though.
Okay. All right.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all here today for a special preview of our new Animal Ambassador building, or the AAC, as our staff has come to nickname it. This is more than just a new facility. It's a celebration of collaboration, compassion, and creativity. The late, great Dr. Jane Goodall said, "What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide the kind of difference you want to make." For our animal ambassadors, we knew what kind of a difference that we were aiming for, and it was completely in line with our mission to connect, inspire, and protect. So the building you see today stands as a symbol of what can be accomplished when a community comes together with a shared purpose. From the beginning, this project was fueled by a vision to create a space where people and animals can connect, learn, and grow together. A space that inspires in a very transparent way stewardship, it encourages empathy, and supports our lifelong mission of animal care, education, and conservation. What makes this building truly special is its story. It wasn't just designed for a cause, it was built with heart and by the hands of students. The structure you see behind me was originally crafted by New Bedford's own vocational technical high school students back in the late 90s. And for us, it was really important to preserve the integrity of that original project. Rather than let the efforts of that former generation fade, we've repurposed it into something that will continue to endure. And today, the efforts of those students live on in a space that's going to continue to educate and inspire future generations. The transformation is a testament to sustainability and innovation. We didn't just start from scratch. Instead, we built upon something that was already meaningful. By giving this structure a second life, we've honored the past and we're embracing the future. And that's exactly what animal care is about: giving second chances, creating safe spaces, and nurturing life. Inside the newly repurposed space, our animal ambassadors, animals like our foxes, Finn and Fern, and others like Ginny, Delphi, and Tilly, who cannot return to the wild but still have so much to teach us, they will be cared for with the respect and dignity that they deserve. And just as importantly, they're going to help us to teach others. Every child who meets them, every visitor who learns their story is going to walk away with a deeper connection and understanding of the natural world and our role in protecting it. So to our community partners, our dedicated Zoo and Zoological Society staff, the Zoo Society Board, Mayor Mitchell, his administration, our City Council, Jen Vieira, Nick Pereira from the Department of Facilities and Fleet Management, OPM George Figueredo from RTA, Enno and Eddie from LLB Architects, Todd Ken and his entire team and construction crew from SMI, and the students who helped build this foundation literally and figuratively. And basically to everyone who believes in the power of education, we want to thank you. Together we've created more than a building, we've created a legacy. As Mayor Mitchell has said, this is an opportunity for folks to peer through the window of the lives of these animal ambassadors and make it a little more transparent so visitors can see how these animals come to be with us, how they help us to fulfill our mission, and to create that connection and those core memories. So thank you.
Thank you, Shara.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, Bay Coast Bank made a foundational gift to this project, which has been in keeping with Bay Coast Bank's civic mission, really in the best tradition of local banking. And so we again appreciate the board's generosity, Nick Chris's leadership over at Bay Coast Bank, and representing Bay Coast Bank today is its Senior Vice President, Jon McMahon, who will say a few words on the bank's behalf. Jon.
Appreciate it, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, all. On behalf of myself, our President and CEO, Nick Chris, the entire team at Bay Coast Bank, we couldn't be more proud to be here today. Bay Coast Bank is committed to the community and very specifically committed to the improving and supporting education, and that's exactly what the Animal Ambassadors building was intended for and delivers on, to improve the educational experience for all of the zoo's visitors. So with that being said, I want to thank the Buttonwood Park staff, the community members here today that made this a reality, as well as you, the municipal members that made it a reality. We look forward to a long partnership in the future with Buttonwood Park Zoo. Thank you.
All right, so We have the big scissors ready.
Oh, they are big.
There, we don't run with these. So we'll do the ribbon cutting, I guess, right over there, and then you guys with cameras, we can take a look on inside, and right after that, see some cool stuff. All right.